Blag from the Dwarves. How are you?
I feel strong, Erin. We are at Rebellion here. I can feel the punkiness in the air.
You feel strong because you just arrived. This is like Sunday night, day 4, kind of day 5 actually. The party starts Wednesday.
I'm giving them everything right now. Drove all the way from Belgium today. It was a tough one, man. Your boy is resilient. You know what I mean? I'm ready to go.
So you're doing a European tour around this, though?
Yeah, well, a lot of UK and Ireland, a little bit of Europe, yeah.
How's it been so far?
It's been great. We played with some Turbo Jungen thing in Hamburg, and it's always funny with them. I mean, You got the outfits and the whole thing, and they have a great time with it, and then did a cool festival called Roadkill in Belgium. Very nice people. They did a big pig roast, so the carnivore in me came out. And
that's funny.
Apologies to you vegans. I'm sorry.
I know, I'm a vegan.
See? I know. And it was really bad. Like, it's on a spit. Like, you're looking at it. You can see its face and shit. Yeah, you have to.
We did a festival in SoCal a couple years ago, a couple months ago, and I remember in the backstage some of the bands, because you know how you being from California also, people are very vegan friendly there, and some of the bands were really upset because they had the pigs rotating in the backstage. It's like,
pigs rotating, man. That's
So
that's what you need.
It's kind of funny. Speaking of California, it's actually, you were one of my first interviews like 8 years ago before I started this channel, and that interview.
And have you fantasized in the intervening years about reconnecting at all?
I just had that one photo, and I don't remember how, but you had a pair of panties in your back pocket, and you pulled them out.
Sounds about right.
We're sniffing.
About right.
Sniffing them. You had these random panties.
Sometimes they smell good.
Or I think I had the panties. I think Angry Samoans had given them to me, and then you took them, and you were like, let me smell them. So speaking of that, you guys are kind of like, you're kind of known for, back in the day, you used to do some pretty wild things on stage, like self-mutilation and sex.
Back in the day, tonight, we don't give up. This is the Dwarves. We keep going.
But how did that all kind of start? I mean, I know that I remember watching a documentary. There was that band, the Insanes, and she was doing sex acts on stage this was in the 90s in the Bay Area, and she got arrested. Had that ever happened to you?
That was an interesting band, but that was kind of contrived on their part. Like, that was part of their thing.
Yeah.
For us, it was like we just kind of come from an earlier era when shit got kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So we didn't plan that stuff. It would just kind of happen, If a girl wants to have sex while you're on stage, it's not very sexual, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just like an act. It's like sort of a domination act, It's very, theatrical. But of course, if you have a girlfriend, they don't see it that way. So it's difficult, you got to kind of work your way through the live sex acts and shit. But, you got to have a sense of humor about these things.
Well, I guess so, but it's like, how does that, just like logistically, how does it all work?
Punk rock used to be a little scarier than it is now. For those of you who are youngsters who are just coming into it, stuff was a little more adult when we started.
My generation of punk is obviously things that are a lot cleaner, they're a lot safer than they used to be.
Safer, that's right. I know.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that at shows.
And that's okay too. Like, when I go looking for a girlfriend, I want cleaner, safer. I don't want this stuff, But for the show, you want the excitement, you know what I mean? I want to deliver,
Yeah.
I don't want people to feel like, oh yeah, Dwarves, that's like every other band, We want it to be like wild shit happens with us,
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it is, and it becomes a self-perpetuating thing, you know. It just keeps happening because people get weirder and weirder, you know.
So what do you have planned for tonight's set then?
You know, we're just hoping some people come to see us and everybody loves us. And, you know, it's hard on a big stage like this to get to do crazy shit because, you know, there's 10 feet between you and the crowd, you know.
Yeah.
So I like to stage dive and get out there and, you know, have interaction with the crowd. You can't really get that at these big ones, so you got to kind of concentrate on the music more, try and just make a great show. And that's, you know, we got 30 plus years of cool songs. And so, you know, we bring that out. We actually have to do music at things like this, you know?
Yeah.
It can't be all stage show. It's got to kind of be your music, so.
So it's kind of funny. You're playing the Casbah, right, tonight?
Yes.
So it's kind of funny. I've been in there all weekend filming bands, and they have in the middle of the barricades, it's almost like a bullpen fence, and the security just keep locking it. So tonight when you go on, you should just tell them to open it.
Sometimes security's totally cool, and sometimes they're upset about everything, you know.
You guys are a wild band. A friend of mine, he bought one of your T-shirts for his, I believe she's 8, 9, or 10 years old daughter, and it was the skull and crossbones, and she
Skull
was
and crossboners.
yeah, she was
That's the Dwarves.
she was wearing the shirt, and we said to him, we're like, hey, Russell, do you know that there's dicks on your daughter's shirt? And he didn't even notice. He's like, oh shit, I didn't.
Yeah, it slips by a lot of people when they buy our merch. They just assume it's like a skull and crossbones because everybody has that, and then you get it home for a year or two, and you go, holy shit, I've been wearing big dicks on me.
And then because we were all walking together and we said that, she kept saying, I got dicks on my shirt. And it was,
Another child warped by the Dwarves. You heard it
well,
here, right?
she's pretty gnarly. She's an awesome little punk rock girl. She legitimately shaved the sides of her head and has a mohawk.
Right.
So it looks pretty cool on her.
Fair enough.
She's the new generation coming in, but it was a really funny moment because it's like, this is kind of wrong, but really funny. For you guys being a band for so long, can you share some of like your favorite stories of being a band? Like, what's some of the most fucked up shit that's happened to you?
Oh my God, I mean, you know, I've been stabbed on stage. I've had guns pulled on me. I fucking, you know.
Where
been
were you
sent
stabbed?
To the hospital. I sent people. You can still kind of see it. It's where my beard doesn't come in there. It was in Canada, you know.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was one of those things. This guy was like, you know how like sometimes at punk shows, like people stand in front of the stage like this, just flipping you off for like too long.
It's like, why are you here then if you don't like it? Go away.
And the dude had a beer in his hand, and I just lashed out with the mic, and it broke the beer in his hand. So his hand was all fucked up, and he came up and raked it across my throat. It was like, yeah. I mean, so I was partly to blame here.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it goes a lot, you know. Sometimes it's the other guy, sometimes it's me. You just never know.
So you just released some new music last year, is that correct?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, the Dwarves are the last punk band that makes good records. I don't know if you realize that. All the other ones are kind of still playing their song from the 80s and whatever it is. We keep making good records. We made a record last year called Take Back the Night. And, you know, I'm lucky because I'm in a band with a bunch of guys who all write songs and they all have their own other bands. And so, real talented group of people, and they just keep coming up with material. Nick Oliveri's in there, a very great rock star guy, and all kinds of interesting people in the group that, you know,
Yeah.
he who cannot be named just walked by. Didn't want to be in the interview, but, you know, we just, we keep cranking out cool music, and we just can't stop, you know.
But I saw that Dexter from The Offspring has also done some stuff with you guys.
I love Dexter, and, you know, he's been so kind to me. He's been singing on my records since, like, I've known him a long time, and he's been singing on my record since like 2004. Always comes in. I go, Dexter, can you please come in? He always comes in. Great singer, hits everything immediately. He's just super great guy. I don't know.
How did you guys meet?
I can't remember anymore. It might have been like at Gilman Street. It might have been when they were playing. It might have been later. I think it might have been early in the 90s. We kind of had the same lawyer or something, some Hollywood thing. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But it was before he exploded, and
Yeah.
then such a great songwriter, that guy, and he's brilliant. And I've been really lucky that way. Like in one way, the industry has kind of shunned the Dwarves and avoided us, and we get left out of a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, then like real talented people like that, or guys like Josh Freese or Nick Oliveri, or different guys will come in and say, I really love this band, I want to be part of this, you know, and you get, so it's been a mixed bag, you know, but it's been really cool. Like I try and be thankful that some super talented people love this band or come in.
Have coming up for the future?
After this tour, you know, like little shows here and there, going to Seattle to do a block party, which will be fun. I always like going back there. A lot of the early Dwarves records were part of that Seattle scene, you know, and
is that
all the junkie people and everything.
Yeah. Is that how you got linked up with Malice McMunn for one of your album covers? Because she was kind of from up there.
That was through a label called Riot Style, where he introduced me to her. I had seen pictures of Malice, but I didn't really know her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she wound up on the cover of our record, Radio Free Dwarves, that came out on Riot Style. And yeah, you know, just kind of a network. Everybody knows everybody on some level. You know, there's like two levels of separation between me and everybody else. You know, like somewhere I know somebody. You know.
That's awesome. Well, that's all the questions I have for you today. So
Bless
thank
you,
you
girl.
so much for taking the time.
Don't forget me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This is Blag the Ripper representing the Dwarves, and you're tuned to the sounds of Last Rockers TV. In the place to be.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, go subscribe to my channel for new punk rock videos every week. This video was brought to you by Haunters, The Art of the Scare, available now for free streaming on Amazon Prime. It's the only documentary of its kind where they take you inside the most controversial DIY haunted house there is. This guy charges cans of dog food as admission and brings these people in and plays on their most fucked up fears. It's actually full contact. He's doing things like locking them in boxes, water torture, all kinds of messed up shit, and all along the way, he's filming it for his YouTube channel to really get the fear in people's eyes. Some people come out absolutely loving it, wanting more, and other people come out legitimately traumatized, throwing up, pissing themselves. It is crazy. You guys have to go watch this documentary. Check it out on Amazon Prime for free. Haunters, The Art of the Scare.